Guys, what's up everybody? I hope you're all doing fantastic, you guys. I'm doing fine, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm Mercy, in case this is your first time, and please consider subscribing. We make content about lifestyle of a stay-at-home mom, from cooking, cleaning, budgeting, homemaking, and all those things that are done at home. So guys, first let me start by apologizing because I had promised to do this video ages ago. Literally it was in December last year, but life has been lifing, and now is the time, this the chosen time. Anyway, I feel it's also a perfect time to do the video because as a country, our budget is being read today, so we are in that mode of budgeting. So let's do it today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I have been budgeting and tracking my expense since 2019, and this has really helped me and my family to keep our finances in order. So if you actually implement what we are going to talk about today, you're going to see some changes, and I hope you do. If you do, please let me know in the comment section. Also subscribe in case you haven't. Now, today we are talking about budgeting, and we are just going to learn how to budget for our income at home. Right now everything is so expensive, from food to generally lifestyle is so expensive. But if you want to know exactly where your money is going and how you can get some extra cash to save, one of the ways is just to track your expenses so that you can know exactly where the money is going, and if it's not going in the right places, then you can redirect that money to your savings or to do something else that is more constructive. Budgeting is the process of creating a plan to spend your money. And like most of us, because when you hear about budgeting, the first thing that clicks is it's a way of restricting me to spend, a way of denying me the lifestyle that I want. That is actually not true, because simply budgeting is a spending plan. So in case you're really new in budgeting, here are the steps that you can follow to budget. Number one, we have budget formulation. In my home, let's just say I am financiers in this house, yeah. So I'm the one who is responsible basically for formulating our budget, and that is the first step. After it's formulated, we have the budget approval. So after I formulate the budget, I give it to my hubby so that he can approve. Because at times you find probably I have omitted some stuff that needs to be done, or I have allocated more money to a certain task, and maybe he feels, that is so much money, let's reduce to this amount, and something like that. So he basically just goes through it and approves. Then the step 3 is budget implementation. So this is just, following everything that we've written down for the month. And then last but not least, we have the auditing stage. For us, auditing is a sort of continuous process because you want to make sure you are still following the plan. And I'm going to show you exactly how we do it. Okay, so don't worry. So for us, audit stage, we do not wait till the end of the month to audit. We sit down on the 14th or 15th and just check how the process is going, because actually by the 15th we are usually done covering like 70% of all the things that we need to pay. And so it's a good way of telling, are we still okay? Are we still in track? Do we need to tone down on spending and such things? So as I told you, I started budgeting back in 2019, and now let's just get into the real numbers, okay? So I'm not going to, of course, I'm not going to be using my real numbers, but I'm just going to be putting figures here and there so that you can understand how to do it, okay? Yeah. So guys, as I told you, I started back in 2019. I got married in May 2019, and we started in August 2019. This we started by first tracking our expenses so that we can learn, because we didn't know how much you were spending. So if it's your first time and you're beginning, please start here by planning your expense. Write down every single expense. You can see, like on this day, 4th of August 2019, we bought milk 240, meat worth 200. Oh baby, we're buying meat worth 200. Then church, we spent 300 and she wrote 200. So every day, every single expense, I used to write down the total. As you can see, the total every time. And this helped me to know exactly how much I was spending per month. And it continued for a while, you guys. You see, now we're in 2020, or still 2020, see? So the first step I've told you is formulation. So here you at least need to know how much you earn, or if you're in business, the average, okay? But of course, everyone knows the average that your business makes. In my home, my hubby is in business, so we use the average. And the first thing we do when formulating, we have two sort of accounts. One we call national, but yours don't have to be like this. And the other one we call county. So for the national, he deals with his suppliers and everything. And then now here, this is where all of you are coming in, county, because this is all the expenses from food, house rent, to debts, to everything. And what I do, number one, I recognize all our debt that we are supposed to pay back. And then number two, fixed amount that we are spending. So it is very important to budget how to pay back your debt. So for me, when it comes to debt, I have Chama loan, I have student loan, and these are things that I have to pay for every single month. Now when we come to fixed, number two, so probably you do not have a debt, it's a good thing. So you'll just come to fixed amount. I know most people do have debts, which is also not a bad thing, because if they're in control, like student loan, ilinisaidia kupata degree, so it's a good thing. Now when we come to fixed amount, in my house, number one, we have rent. Higher. Number two, we have electricity. So I'm referring here, you guys, number three, we have parents, because we have to take care of them, their medications and things like that. And number four, we have tithe. So these are things that, of course, oh, and we have okay, this one is not fixed. I'm going to tell you why. We have house expenses. Well, let's first deal with this. This one, at least in a month, you know exactly how much your rent, is, electricity, how much you pay, how much you allocate to your parents, and the tithe and everything. Now, when it comes to house expenses, this is where, if you are a total beginner, tracking your expenses is very important, because you need to know on average how much do you use. Okay, let me first pause on this, Alex, because this is where a lot of explanation needs. Let me go to the sixth amount, which is savings. So in my household, we have already established how much money we will be saving per month. So this is a sort of a fixed amount, okay? And it goes right there. Now let's tackle house expenses in details. Number one, this I've told you, this is where if you're a total beginner, you need to be tracking, because at times you think you are spending like let me give you an example, guys. I asked my sister how much she spends on household expenses per month. And then she told me 10,000, and I was like, no, it cannot be 10,000. I know you're a family of 5. It can't. I am 100% sure it can't be 10,000. And she told me, okay, 15. I told her, no, it can't be 15, considering you already have a house help. Then she told me, okay, maybe around 20 or 25,000. You know, I just laughed because she doesn't know. And at first she was thinking, oh, it's 10,000. We tend to think we are spending less if we do not track. So I would encourage you, be writing down each and every coin you spend. Whether you spend, you see, the example that I gave you when I starting in 2019. If milk is worth 50 bob, write that. If you've taken lunch worth 100 bob, fare is 200, write that down every single day. And then you can write for over, okay, I did that for over a period of like 2 years, but you can do it for like 3 months, and then you will be able to determine your average, you know, the average amount that you spend on the household expenses. At least track for 3 months so that you can know the average. For me, I did it over 2 years. Right now, I no longer track per se, writing down, but I write down everything. Like if you spend 100 shillings today or 1,000 shillings, I write 1,000 shillings because I have the amount that I must not surpass. Okay, so I also sort of, it's actually still tracking, just that I don't write down what I spent it on, because now I already know how much I need to be spending. Are we together? Hiya, let's go back to the book. So track if you do not know how much you're spending. Make sure you know how much you're spending on food. Food is one of the most expensive. Actually, in my house, food na rent zinapelekana hapa kwa hapa. What? Hapa chakula imeniweza, ni expensive. And then number 2, in the household expense, maybe you have a house girl or house help. Personally, I don't, but it goes there. Number 3, maybe you have Wi-Fi, Netflix. What else? For us, we also budget the same. For household, we have fun, and then number 6, we have charity. So fun is like when we are taking the kids out. When the budget is tight, like really, really tight, you know, fun, you can really reduce on this. You don't have to take kids out. You can maybe buy them a pizza and they'll be happy. But if the budget is going on well, you can take them out and everything. Charity. So charity is the amount of money that we set aside to come through for people, maybe our friends, our relatives, when they have maybe an event like Rorashio, maybe a wedding, maybe, some things that are not foreseen, but we need to contribute. We're in Africa, those little contributions. Yeah, that's what we say charity. So all this total, this is what equals to household expenses. Yeah, let's say all these maybe comes to about 50,000. That's just an example, right? And the amount we were earning, let's say, is about, so I told you this, if you're in business, is the average. Let's say about 60,000, right? So I try every time to the income that we get, when I subtract the expenses, I try as much as possible to get a 0, so that each dollar or each shilling is accounted for. Because if you have extra amount of money that is not actually budgeted for, you find most of the time that money is going to waste, or you just won't be able to know where it goes. So if your income minus your expenses is leaving you with a negative figure, then it means you are actually you are overspending and you're going on a negative budget, and over time now that will come to haunt you. But I guess when you're in business, at times the income may not be, you may budget for the average and then at times it's extra. For us, what we do, we have another account, we call it caution account. The extra money, we put it there because we've already budgeted for the suppliers, and my my budget has been fully satisfied as it should on paper. So the extra money, we put it aside because there are days now, again, you're going to be having less. Probably it's a tough month. I remember for us, that happened in October last year. October was a really tough one, and we had a negative budget. Like, you know, you only budget at the beginning of the month, and then now by the end of the month we are like, the amount to lend a negative. But now we have this other money that we put as caution money, and it came through to like satisfy everything that needed to be satisfied. That being said, I do not say that I am totally perfect. By the way, like right now my caution money is 0. I've not been able to put back the amount that I took, but now with time I keep on building so that my budget is perfect. So let me tell you one mistake that I have been doing, and I just realized it recently. When I did my tracking to get how much we spend, mostly on food, generally shopping, it was in 2019, and let's say it came to 15,000, right? Since 2015, the prices of commodities have been increasing each day, and then in my budget, each time I budget for 15,000 for shopping. But you know what happens? By date 20, I've already exhausted the 15,000, and now I start getting frustrated because budget yangu haingiani. I start blaming my hubby. God, my hubby has been on the receiving end, that he's wasting money. But in reality is that I have not been true to myself. And then now what happens once we are done? Nasema asa budget hata haingianangi, let's just do whatever we acha tu to buy whatever we want. Then we end up spending so much money. So what I'd encourage you is be true to yourself, because if you budget to spend 10,000 and then ni kidogo haitatosha, what's going to happen? You're going to get frustrated, and then you're going to be like, budgeting is not working, and you drop everything. So just be true to yourself, be realistic with yourself. If your shopping is 30,000 per month, don't shy from that. Don't say, okay, let me just try to use 20,000. No. First, begin with your basic lifestyle. Make sure you track for a period of 3 months, and then you know how much you spend, and then just be true to that, okay? Then if there is like a tough month, now that's the time you can say, if I look at my budgeting here, I'm like, do we need Wi-Fi and Netflix? This month is tough. You're not going to pay for Netflix. We're just going to be enjoying documentaries on Wi-Fi, on YouTube, right? And then I'm like, charity, I need to tone down on the amount that I am giving, or entertainment. You know, you can just see from your budget, where can I get money from to fund the other more urgent thing that is going on in my life. If you're married, I would highly encourage you to just work as a team. Honestly, hubby and I, we work as a team. The money we get, that's what we budget for, because now if you're not together, it's going to be a little frustrating. And when I say track your expenses, we used to track for both of us, not just my expenses. If we went to work and spent 2,000 on I don't know what, he has to tell me, so that it's easier for me to budget for everything. But generally, this has been working so well. Also, the continuous audit helps a lot, because we sit down and try and find where we are we going on as it should, where do we need to change, and it has really helped us. I'm glad to say it is working, but only be true to yourself, be a team, and it's going to work, okay? So please try and formulate a budget for your home, and let me know how it goes. Okay. Yeah, let me know. I hope you've enjoyed that basic rundown of my budget. Please try it and let me know how it goes. Okay, let me see you on my next one. Bye. In case you have questions, write them down in the comment section. I'll be sure to get to them. Okay, bye.